Since I've had a video going, but hey, I'm back. Today's lesson is actually going to be done using the stamp-a-ma-jig. I absolutely love it. I often forget about it, but on a stamp set like Trendy Trees, it's the perfect tool to make sure you can align your trees with the stumps of your trees. So I have actually already stamped the trunk. I just did that in Close to Cocoa. And then I think these three trees are kind of meant for the shorter stump, and this one is meant for the bigger one. You can see the detail here. I mean, to see the trunk through that fine detail would be tough just to eyeball and stamp. So that's where the Stamp-a-ma-jig comes in handy. When you buy a Stamp-a-ma-jig, you get these things called image sheets, which I use, but when I have a stamp set like Trendy Trees, I want to have a permanent sheet that I don't have to keep restamping and realigning. So what I've done is I just took a piece of acetate and I've stamped, and I'm sorry it's hard to see, I've stamped the images here in StampOn ink, one in each corner, and I'll show you how I did that. So to start with, what I've done is I just take a piece of paper, and I'll show you using colored cardstock, or actually a scrap piece of paper. I'll show you using a scrap piece of paper and how this works. So what you're going to do is line up your Stamp-a-ma-jig in the corner of your cardstock or your acetate or using the imaging sheet, and then what you simply do is you take your stamp, remembering which way it is down. I'm just going to ink up my stamp, and I tend to do it out facing to the left. I don't know why, just force of habit. And then you're just going to simply slide your stamp down that right angle here on my Stamp-a-ma-jig, and I've got that image lined up. Now the reason you have to use a clear sheet is because I need to be able to see where this is going to go, but I just wanted to show you how I made that transfer sheet. So my next step, after you've done the transfer sheet, is you stamp your trunk, and then I think, okay, where do I want my image to go? And so let's say I'm using this tree, and I want my leaves to look like that. Let's say that's the way it's going to go. What I'm going to do is line up my Stamp-a-ma-jig in the corner of that acetate so I can see that that's lined up. I know my stamp is facing down. I remove the acetate sheet, and now I simply ink up my stamp using Kiwi Kiss here, and I just simply slide it down my Stamp-a-ma-jig, stamp, and remove, and I've got that lined up. Quick, simple, and cute. Now, for the rest of my card, I'm using Good Morning Sunshine paper, Summer Sun, and then I've got my layers already attached here. You can see I've just got a square, actually 3 3/4 by 4 1/4 piece of one of the patterns, and then I have a 2 3/4 by 1 3/4 strip of Kiwi Kiss, and then 1/4 of an inch smaller of this designer paper, a couple of the Summer Sun corduroy buttons or brads, and then the Pacific Point ribbon just tied around. And then this all gets mounted on my card front, so you don't see any of those backs of the brads or the ribbon on the inside of my card. And then I've got my greeting here that just says thanks so much, and I'm using dimensionals, and you'll sometimes wonder what to use the outside edge of your dimensionals for. Don't throw it out, it's perfect for the back of a word window punch. So I'm going to just adhere that to the bottom of this square, and then I'm going to use some dimensionals to pop up my tree for the front of my card. So again, really quick and easy how to use the Stamp-a-ma-jig. It's a great tool for any of the two-step stamping stamp sets that Stampin' Up! Provides, or some of these finicky ones like Trendy Trees, which just need a little bit more attention to detail. And I'll stick that on, and I've got myself a really quick and easy Stamp-a-ma-jigged Good Morning Sunshine card. Hope you have a great day. Thanks for stopping by.